Welcome to Done Pretending, the podcast where healing meets authentic living. I am your host, Susan Houston, storyteller, mentor, and believer in the power of truth to set us free. This is your sanctuary for the soul, a safe space where we peel back the layers of judgment and fear to uncover the beauty of living real. Each week, you'll hear stories of courage, resilience, and transformation that remind you it's never too late to become who you were created to be. Welcome back to Done Pretending. I'm Susan Houston, your host, and today I am joined by Sarah Jefferis. What to say it?
Jefferis, you got it. Sarah Jefferis.
Oh, Jefferis. Good. I'm going to start that over. Today I'm joined by Sarah Jefferis, poet, writing coach. She's a yoga instructor and actually has her own consultancy business right now. She holds a PhD in writing and an MFA in poetry. And her most recent collection, Lucky to Have You, is something we're going to talk about today. And it's all about relationships, both romantic relationships and friendship relationships. So Sarah, what I love, and I've connected you with someone that I know, is that you incorporate yoga into the writing practice. Your philosophy is that writing is a full body sport. Where did that idea come to you?
Oh my gosh, that's such a great question. Thank you for having me here.
You're welcome.
In part, it came from working in the Lisa Nichols community about public speaking as a full body sport. But also, and so thank you, obviously, Lisa Nichols, for that connection. But also for me, when I'm writing, if I'm stuck, I literally have to stretch my arm out a certain way, or I have to do a forward fold, or I need to go to the wall and stand on one foot, or I need to lay on the floor. I need to move or stretch my own body, either to leave the body I'm in and become the body of the character that I'm trying to write, or stretch my body because a sentence or an image is stuck and I need more breath, more expansion. People believe that writing is like an all day, every day, hours and hours practice. And that may be true for some people. For me, it's in small bursts every day. And so it might be 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, but I am moving around the room and I am moving with the computer and I am getting up and I am getting down, even as I am focused in what I am creating. For me, the body holds memories and stories and images. And if I'm in one spot, I can't access all of them.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So just so our listeners know, if you've ever wanted to hold a writing retreat, you've got to contact Sarah because she can incorporate yoga into that, which really opens up the writing process. And, just from even having to write talks, keynotes and training manuals and things like that. Yeah, I have to get up. I have to stretch. I can be in the flow for so long and then my body just tightens up too much.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And you talk about writing as a healing prescription.
Yes.
Has your own writing journey been a healing for you?
It has. And the other thing I was going to say, there's so many things. First is that when I'm writing, whether it's typewriter or pen or computer, and I compose on paper and then edit on the computer, I'm this way. I don't know about y'all, but I'm like this way and down, which means my heart is going to the ground. But when I am open and stretched and moving, I'm much more heart open and I'm much more open to source and all of the muses that I think that work with me, to my team of writing. Because I don't think we write alone. I think we actually write with people who have passed. We have write with people who are our muses. We write with artists. We write in community. And so if I am in a space that's heart-centered, it is easier to compose. So I'll start with that. And then the second thing I was going to say is the yoga program is mat to pen, because I use meditation, writing, and yoga to help us finish writing projects and to access the creative spirit within. And then the third thing I was going to say was writing as a prescription for healing is the name of my TEDx. And in my own life, I have found that when I'm writing on the page, I can write out a story and have it have a different ending.
Mm,
Or I can write out a story and have a person say something that I've always wanted them to say to me. Or I can write a letter to someone, and in that writing of the letter, I can say all the things that I never got to say to them. I mean,
mm.
I grew up in Virginia where I was told that I was supposed to be very polite and pretend all the time, right? And so the politeness plus pretending meant that I didn't always say what I wanted to say, but the page didn't require me to pretend,
Mm, I love that.
right? I could write on the page all the things that I would want to say, but I didn't get a chance to, or I didn't have the courage to.
How old were you when you started writing?
Oh gosh. Early. I read at 3. And my
Wow.
mom was like, "Okay, we need to get you reading other things." And I was always reading like scripture and poetry. So writing must have been like 4 or shortly after. Maybe 5. I can't remember. My childhood was very complicated, so there's pieces that I remember and pieces that I don't. But I do
Hmm.
know that I had notebooks from very early on.
Hmm.
And in every notebook, I either listened to what other people said and tried to find things that I could hold on to put in characters. So I was like
Hmm.
early dropping, but I don't know that I would have called that that. I mean, I grew up in Colonial Williamsburg, Virginia, which is a wildly weird place where I don't know if you've been there, Susan.
I haven't, but I've heard about it.
Okay, so it's this weird town where everyone pretends to be British and
Yes.
pretends that it's 1769. And lots of people wear costumes and reenact American history. Well, at least some weird version of American
Mm,
history. And
hmm.
I had to think about that for a second.
That's a
And
whole
so
nother discussion.
that's a whole other episode,
Mhm.
right? And so everyone was kind of pretending. And I understood pretending meant that you could travel across time. And so on the page, I could, at 6 or 7 or 8, pretend that I was older. In
Oh,
life, I always wanted to pretend that I was older. Now that I'm a little bit older, we'll just
yeah. Can we
say
go back the other way? Yeah.
past 21, past 31, I'm not trying to pretend to be older anymore. I'm seeing longevity as a gift, and I'm seeing every year as an opportunity to, well, really an opportunity to have people find the creative spirit within, and an
Mm,
opportunity to understand that my authentic self exists and is growing. That it's not like one spot that I get to that I haven't seen all the time, but that it actually is more like a blossoming peony
yeah.
or a lotus flower, right? I have an
Oh,
authentic self
that's
that I want
beautiful.
to return to. And yet I know that authentic self is also um, shifting, growing,
Hmm.
right? Blossoming.
We're always growing, right?
Right, right.
Wow. That's powerful, Sarah. Oh
Thank,
my goodness.
thank you.
And gosh, I whew. Um, so do the people that you get in your workshops, are they do they often work through blockages? And because I'll give you an example. When I first got into speaking and I went to a speaking group, the Boeson group, we had to write our personal story. And what came up for me was something that I hadn't thought about in 40 years.
Hmm.
And working through that for about 6 months with the coaches and the speaking coaches, one of the speaking coaches, she asked me, she goes, Susan, how do you feel now that you've spoken on this? And I said, are you kidding? This has been like therapy for me. A lot of this that has come up, I didn't even remember. And she was like, yeah, that's good. That's normal because you're connecting with your true self. Do you find that with the people who are writing with you?
I do find that. I think that our writing selves know more than we do. And I think that
Mm,
our writing self in the act of creation, it is both recall, remember, like putting the members of our body and heart and spirit back together, recall, remember, and reimagine, like all the re's,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So I do find people who come to Mat to Pen who find a story, who move through the healing process of that story. I do find clients who, and if you're listening to this podcast and you want to work on a poem or a story or an essay, please reach out to me. Um, and I do find clients who are stuck on a particular image or essay or memory. And in order to finish, we do some of that healing work of yoga and meditation and breath work.
yeah,
Um, and in the process of writing and breathing or writing and meditation, the memories arrive. And we can choose to meet them. We can choose to hold them.
mm,
We can choose to be freaked out by them.
mm,
We can choose to release them. And whether that release really is a forward fold on the floor or a heart centered I release or a just like I release, right?
yeah, yeah.
Or it's writing out the memory, right?
Mm.
Um, we may have half a memory and then find the other half on the yoga mat. I hope that
I
answers your
think that's
question.
true. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, yes, yes. Um, you and I were talking before we went live about the masks that we wear, right?
Yes.
And I
Oh,
think your new collection, Lucky to Have You, talks about some of this.
yeah.
Tell me about that.
Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for this third collection of poetry that arrived or that was given to
Mm.
me or that I've worked through. Lucky to have you is a sentence that a man said to me once. And then he also said, lucky to keep you. In which case I was like, oh, where's the exit door?
Good. Yeah,
Exactly.
that gave me pause. Like what?
I was like, time to go. But no, for real, for real. Um, yeah, men, they're so fun and full of material. Um, so the collection really looks at this question of how does the moment of luck, right? This thing that we call coincidence or this thing we don't see, this unexpected thing, how in that moment of luck might we lose something? I don't know about
Mm,
you, but in moments that have been absolutely fantastic, I've lost keys, I've lost an earring, I've lost a phone number, I've lost a contact. Something has disappeared. So luck
yeah.
has magic in it, and sometimes all of the objects or people around us can't stay in that next level.
Mm-hmm.
At the
Mm-hmm.
same time, there have been horrendous moments in my life, right? Like I have buried a spouse. I have survived
Mm.
sexual assault. I have survived religious hurt. There have been moments, scars, if you will. Moments feels like odd, right? Because they went for years,
Yeah.
but
I
scars,
call them chapters. Mm-hmm.
yeah, chapters, um, that even as horrible as they were, and I wouldn't wish them on anyone, there were slivers of luck that appeared in them.
Hmm.
One example might be in the year when I suddenly realized there was a divorce happening in my life, I got a poetry residency. And so I
Yeah.
suddenly was able to leave for a week and work on poems even though I was deeply sorrow in that moment of divorce, but I needed to get out of town. Like I
Yeah.
needed to go. And so luck gave me this residency in the middle of the sorrow. So I could take the sorrow with me, be sorrowful, and write poems, and look at a pond, and listen to frogs, learn to be able to begin again, right? So for me,
Yeah.
luck and loss are synonymous. The
Hmm.
book is Finishing Line Press. It is Lucky to Find You. That's the first section. Lucky to Keep You, and Lucky to Lose You.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, because there are relationships in our life when they become complete,
Yes, I believe that too.
and we call them loss.
Hmm.
And maybe it's lost luck or a little bit of loss and a little bit of luck, right?
Yeah.
I don't love the idea that not everyone is supposed to stay with us through our decades.
Hmm.
I want people around. I'm a Sagittarian. I like connection, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a Pisces moon. I like connection. I love love, right? But I'm very clear that there are some people who were around for a chapter or a season.
Hmm.
Now, depending on whether you believe in like universe or God, I would
Hmm.
say, and God removed them from my life.
Hmm.
And I'm arguing with God about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? They do say that rejection is protection. So
I
if
haven't heard that one. Okay.
yeah, yeah, rejection
I
is
like it.
protection. So if exit doors, when someone is like, I'm done, I need to go, their leaving is a lesson for me in letting go. Even if I'm like, wait, oh, okay, there you go. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So there have been people in my life that have left, and that was the luck.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I feel like you are touching deep parts of me that I was not expecting, Sarah. Okay.
Oh, it's with love. It's with love. Please
It
know.
is love. And
It's with love.
I think that that is what I love so much about you is that you look at everything through a lens of love
Yes.
and and not negativity, but everything like you said is luck. And I fully believe the universe, God, I believe God, you know, has this set up. And so when things happen, it's like, okay, I can take a pause. And before I get really angry or really sad, I say, okay, I'm grateful for this. It may not be 100% clear to me as to why,
Yes.
but that's okay. And then inevitably it reveals itself later.
Yes. Yes. And I used to spend a lot of time being like, why is this happening to me? Right? Like,
Yeah.
why do I get to raise children on my own after all these years? Like, why is this happening to, and I learned that in some of that whyness, because it was always like this to the sky, right?
Yeah.
Um, it doesn't actually help me move forward. And I don't
Mm.
always know the answer to the why doesn't make the action easier. Right. And so for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
if I want to walk through the world believing everything A will work out and B is happening for me,
Hmm.
preposition for, not to, even though sometimes I'm like, this is happening to me. I'm like, no, for me.
Right.
Like
Right.
T-O and F-O-R get really close. Um, then I will have, and am grateful to have very good friends who will help me take off the mask and not pretend. That's how I know it's a friend. That's also how I know a love will stay. That I don't have to pretend. I don't have to be the, the woman who has a doctorate in writing. I don't have to be the mama who has it all together. I don't have to have a certain number in my bank account. If I can take off some of the masks of success,
Mm-hmm.
then in fact, I know the friendship is good.
Yeah.
And I know the friendship might actually become love, right? In a romantic way for me.
Yes.
Because usually with
Yes.
romantic love, with men, we start as friends. Friendship, I think, is solid. Friendship is so important. And
I 100% agree with that. Yeah.
yeah, and I don't know about you, but if I am pretending in a friendship, it's not going to last very long.
No, it doesn't. And I think that's something that I learned later in life. I'm lucky that I'm surrounded by a tribe of friends since high school. And we've often talked about how we're very different, um, different religious beliefs, different political beliefs, but we've never judged each other for it. It's more like,
Mm.
tell me more about that. Okay. And yet it's okay that they believe something different. We don't
Yes,
have to pretend to get along with everybody. And having been friends for over 40 years, we've seen ups and downs of everything in life
yes,
and have stood beside each other to shore them up, as my friend says, to walk alongside them.
yes, yes,
And that, so they don't have to pretend. They have someone that they don't have to say, I'm fine. It's like, no, you're not.
yes,
Cut the bull, and then
yeah,
they can be real
yeah,
and process. Yeah.
yeah.
Powerful,
I think,
powerful
yeah, it's
stuff.
so powerful. I think when someone asks us how we are and we say, I'm fine,
Mm,
and we're not actually fine, right? The body hears the lie,
mm,
first of all. And then I think the friend who knows maybe you're not fine might wonder why you've put a wall, right?
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm fine when
Yeah.
we're not fine is a wall. Like,
Yep.
really, if we're going to be real, like, how in America in this moment, in this crazy war land, are we actually fine, any of us, first of all? But secondly, like, why would we want to put that wall? So if I've asked a friend and they've said I'm fine and my body and my energy and their energy is like they're not fine, I will sometimes say, "Can you tell me if there are a lot of people around you right now?" Like if we're on the phone, right?
Mm,
And they're like, "Yep, three kids in the room." And I go, "Got it." Or they'll say, I'll
yeah.
say, "Can you tell me if you have a big meeting next?" "Yup, in 5 minutes." "Got it."
Yeah. So they
Right?
can't get into that. Yeah.
Yes. And so I sometimes will say, "I am fine. Call me in 20. I am fine. Text me later this afternoon." And so that's my way of saying, I can't in this moment explain, and I still want to talk about it, right? I still
Yeah.
want you to check
Yeah.
in on me. I still want accountability. I still want people to reach out, right? So I think about that a lot. And also, I want to be more than fine.
Hmm. Yeah. When people tell me that I'm fine, and I don't like to use that word anymore either, it
Yeah.
just to me is it's a cloak. It's a,
Yes.
are you really fine? Are you better than fine? Or are you really not fine? It's
Yes.
just something that we say out of habit because it's
Yes.
familiar. Our brain will just, come up with
Yes.
that. Oh, I'm fine.
Yes.
But I love how you're aware enough to realize that we can't always be fine on the phone. Or, I've jumped on calls like this with people, and it's like, I love that you're aware of what else may be going on around them that we can't see.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
think we need to lean into that a little bit more too with
Yes.
our friends and our
Me too.
family.
And yeah, absolutely. And the other thing I've been thinking about with this I'm fine and pretending notion is that when we are pretending that we're fine, we we might not want to be able to go to the deep stuff that says we are not fine in that moment,
Mm,
right? Because the inner
yeah.
work is walking into a room that may feel like a hall of mirrors. It may feel like a library of stories that we're not sure whether we're the hero or not the hero. It may feel like echoing vibrations of sorrow. So people don't always want to go deep, right? They may
Yeah.
not want to go deep. And so, is there a way to say something that's not I'm fine and something that's not I'm going to pull off the entire mask, right? Because I do think we need boundaries. I do think we need to be able to know who is safe to explain our
Yeah.
stories,
Hmm.
who will hold our truths and our vulnerabilities respectfully and lovingly, right?
Hmm.
Like who is a vault for us, you know? And
I like
who
that
can
term.
we be a
Hmm.
vault to,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, I also think I sometimes walk around going, all manner of things will be well, all manner of things will be well, all manner of things will be well, even if I have all this evidence that it's not, right? Because I think
Yep.
they will be well. And
I have a
so,
friend who says it will always work out for me. It always works
yes,
out for me. Hmm.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And so I do believe in creating the energy and vibration that you would like to have around you,
Hmm.
as well as acknowledging how complex, complicated, and painful the world is right now.
Yeah. And not pretending that it's not.
Yes.
I think I am not one to dwell on the news, but people have accused me of just putting my head in the sand. Well, no, I'm aware, but I choose to limit it because it affects me too much.
Yes.
So I'm taking control of what I can take control of and not getting
Yes.
into the fear that they want to build. So that's a whole
Yes.
nother conversation too.
The only thing I
Oh
would
my gosh.
say with that
So,
is, oh, go ahead.
Sarah, as we're talking, um, I am starting this small intensive cohort for about 10 people. And I hadn't considered it until I sat down here and talked with you. But I think I need to do a retreat because and you've got to come. You've got to come teach at this. I can't tell you exactly when it's going to be, but it's coming up this year.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah,
I would.
because something that you said about being able to be real with people and the the online stuff is great. I've had great success in small groups with people on that, but there's nothing like being in a room physically and just being
Absolutely.
able to hug people and sit there and just take up space with them,
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
and give them a safe energy to physically be in. I
Hmm.
think that is so powerful.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
completely agree. And I think retreat spaces provide us the opportunity to release the habit of pretending. I was thinking
Yes.
about your show, right? And I was thinking about like, oh, where do I pretend? Right? And I
Mm,
love improv, so I pretend on the stage all the time, right? And I do teach at the university part time, and I would say sometimes I feel like I'm pretending at the university, even though it's fun. But I was thinking about in relationships and friendships, in the ones where I have pretended, it has cost me something great.
mm. Like what?
And
What do you think?
um, it has cost me real connection.
Mm,
It's cost me time. It's cost me exhaustion because whatever mask I had or pretended always was in line with something that required me to abandon myself.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am no longer interested in abandoning myself. I was thinking about this morning. Actually, I was like, okay, why in my past, the why again, right? In
Yeah.
my past, or I would say up until now, I have had the habit of attracting men that have a bit of, let's say, emotional unavailability. Or I won't say they abandoned me, but I will definitely say I've had a lot of ghosts. Yeah. So I was
Yeah.
thinking about that. Like, why have I attracted in the past, up until this point, different romantic relationships, even as they worked for the poetry book? Why have I attracted the ones who were emotionally unavailable or who had a ghosting habit? And it occurred to me that I was attracting the kind of energy because I was doing that to myself. So in the ways that
Ooh.
I know, I was like, oh, okay, meditation. So in the ways that I have abandoned myself when a possible romantic relationship also ghosted me or wasn't emotionally available, it felt okay because I had already done that to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, all right. Because right in 2025 and 2026, I was like, I am not abandoning Sarah anymore. I'm done. I'm done ghosting Sarah. I'm done not being emotionally available for Sarah. I'm done. I'm actually
Yep.
going to be present and not, I didn't say not pretend, but I said,
Yeah.
I'm no longer interested in ghosting my own self. I'm no longer interested in abandoning my dreams. I'm no longer interested in abandoning my goals. And so suddenly then, right, the energy of people changed around me because I
Yes.
wouldn't tolerate the energy of ghosting or emotional
Right.
unavailability.
Well, we as women, we just justify all that stuff, right?
Yes,
Oh, they're busy or whatever. And it's like, we're all busy.
yes,
Yeah. I am, oh my gosh, that's gold. I am 100% right there with you.
yeah, yeah.
But
So
yeah.
the
Oof.
more I choose not to pretend about my dreams or my goals or what it means to love me, uh, the more I can attract the kind of friendships, business
Mhm.
relationships, and romantic relationships that matter, that don't also abandon my own needs.
Oh my goodness. Well, I hope you find all of that because
Thank you.
you are such a gem.
Oh, thank you. It's been so much fun talking to you.
Oh my goodness. This is just one mind blowing after another. I'm going to go sit in my quiet and meditate on this for a minute.
Yeah.
But thank you, Sarah.
Oh, thank you.
And we will have all of Sarah's contact information, her
Yes.
book. Did you send me your TEDx link as well?
I did. I believe so, but it
Good.
is called Writing as a Prescription of Healing. The book is Lucky to Have You by Finishing Line Press. Please order it now because it's on pre-sale now for in March, but you can get it in May. My website is sarahjefferis.com and my email is sarah@sarahjefferis.com. And my IG
Perfect.
is Dr. Jeffress Right Now. The name of the business is Right Now because we all have a few minutes here and there to write.
Yeah. Yeah. And even if you're not writing a novel or writing poetry, the journaling has
Oh, yes.
been it's huge for me. Huge for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
sometimes it is fun. I've looked back and sometimes it becomes a little limerick or something because I just
Yes.
kind of get in the flow and
Yes.
I won't be publishing those. But. Well, Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan.
And
It's been a pleasure.
I will see you again.
You will. Take care.
Thank you for joining me on Done Pretending, where healing meets authentic living. If today's conversation moved you, share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. And if you haven't yet, be sure to follow the show and leave a review. Your words help this message reach more hearts around the world. Remember, you are seen, you are loved, and your story
has the power to set others free.